Hello, everyone. I just want to say thank you so much. Um, my hands are burning because I'm angry. I have fibromyalgia. I'm doing everything in my power to release the anger because I have nothing to be angry for. But sometimes when you realize things, it hits hard. Um, I put up a video yesterday, as well as my book went live about a relationship I had with Pastor Furman. And I'm not hating him. Trust me, I do hate him, but I love him at the same time. But it's kind of in a borderline in the middle of being partially confused. And today I realized one of the reasons why I'm confused, and the confusion comes on the part of me of who I am as a giver. I realized something a long time ago, and it's that I don't want to change who I am. I don't want to change who I am because I like who I am. I am a giver because it's who I am by nature. And the sad thing is, I have some pain lotion somewhere. Oh, right there. Ooh. Mm. The sad thing is, I didn't realize it until a few months ago that Kevin is a taker. Now he's a giver when it comes to his congregation and that type of thing, because I learned a lot about him and I watched him and everything, and I'm not being trying to be facetious in that matter. What I mean about me as a giver, not only physical things, but emotional, my kindness, my generosity was taken. And when I say it was taken, it was because I was giving it. But in the same manner of him saying he would do this, and do this, nothing nothing came that was supposed to come. And someone called me today after watching the video, and I'm thankful because I didn't want to be seen in a certain way. But at this point, I really don't care how I'm being seen because I sat down and thought about it. You have to know deep down in your soul how it feels to be taken advantage of in order for you to know how I feel. And I said it to him. I said it to him. I said, it is really hard to be in a situation when you fall in love with a taker, especially when you're a giver. And I've realized that he was a taker. He was taking my kindness, he was taking my generosity, he was taking my love, my everything, and just squandered it. But you know what I did this morning? And thank you, because my finger's getting better. The pain lotion is right here. And if you don't know, this is very helpful, but I'm gonna put it on anyway. um, when I realized something today in the moment of me trying to clear my mind and focus on some things that are basically reality. And the reality is, you really cannot help falling for someone when they come with this magic. You understand what I'm saying? Now, someone said to me today, he said, she said, that video would have never been made had he just kept his word. That's it. Just kept. And I said, exactly. And then I said, I felt so much love at that moment because it's true. You can tell someone 50 lies, but if one truth comes out of that, you can change the perception of how a person sees you. But then when you constantly, okay, I hate to do things like I'm gonna do, but it sounds like I'm not gonna get anywhere for you to understand. But just if you watched me do the wall, he kept saying he's gonna do the wall. You watched me on YouTube do the wall, and you might have also heard me say that someone was supposed to do the wall. And I'm gonna unplug my phone because I know what this phone call. Just let me unplug my phone. I can't deal with the phone ringing, and it's constantly ringing. But I'm thankful that I have support. I'm thankful that I have support. I didn't want comments on my last post, but someone told me to open up the comments because there's a lot of women that need to see that video and may have something to say. And I said I would do it, although I didn't want to do it. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm kind of pain. I'm kind of not feeling too well because I know my mother is gonna be devastated. And there's a whole lot that I'm gonna put out there, but I said I didn't want to do that while my mother was able to read it. And then a friend of mine said, no, if your mother is the mother that I know, she's laughing and not at anything but this, and this, because this is the reality of it. And then to hear 3 people tell me this morning how I am a real Libra, because you cannot come for me and expect me not to come back for you. And I did not want to be pushed to the point of me doing what I did, but I had to because I really and truly felt manipulated and used. And I'm not calling anyone out there name. I don't want anyone to feel this is that type of situation, because it's not. I absolutely feel amazing, and I am extremely proud of myself. I am proud of myself in ways you would never believe, because I almost committed suicide. I was really there for weeks and months. I really was there, and I was in this house hiding myself from society and everything because of what I was going through inside. I showed someone. I took my neighbor, not my neighbor on this floor, but I took someone in this building the video. You know what she said? I don't blame you. I don't blame you. And I'm gonna tell you, shame and disgrace, it is not even coming on this end. I don't even care. You want to know why? I fought back with what I had to fight back with, and that was my voice, because I said not another man will come and take advantage of my body, my mind, my soul, and my spirit. I be damn, I be damn, I be damn. And I sat down in this house and watched that man at the altar and at his congregation, and to hear him with all that, yeah, and this is a season in God, and then to see him sprawl wide on my bed trying to get all the loving and all the, yeah, everybody got a thing, it's okay. But when I started asking questions I was confused about biblically, I couldn't get the answers. I couldn't get the answers. Why? Because this is a regular man standing at a place with a regular job. But that's not the job for everybody. Just like greeting cards is not for everybody, maybe not even for me. But I kid you not, I was on the phone a little while ago, and the accent of the person, because the person's from the South, is so thick. But to hear this person say, I am afraid of you. But you know what? This person absolutely just wants a second chance in my life. But I don't have time for second chances. But it wasn't his fault why we parted as children. We were children. We weren't even 18. So there you go. But I am thankful. I'm thankful for the strength to use what I had. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect, and I'm not saying that Kevin is the worst person on the planet, because he's not. He is really not. But he is a liar. No. He's not a liar. I take that back. I can't use that word. I took it back. When you say something and you don't commit to what you say, you are what your actions are, and that's it. I'm not calling anyone. No one is a liar. You are who you are when you show me. That's all I can say. But I kid you not, honey, let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you something, because someone had me cracking up. Or he kept on saying how I did not know. But you know what? I have to tell you, I contemplated. I cried when I held, and he knows it. He'll tell you if I was on a stand right now, he would tell you I broke down and cried when I had that rose between his legs and his legs was gaped up like he was on a table getting a gynecological check up. I broke down and cried, I cried because I knew what I was doing. I knew it was no nice and that. I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it because that's what he did to me in that living room. That's exactly what he did to me, and he wouldn't stop until he got me where he needed me. And when he backed up off me, like, yeah, there you go, got it. That is horrible. That is removing someone from their own shell. Someone else came in this. It was like I was a whole nother person, just removed from myself, and I'm like my body was just going. I'm just like all over the place. You know, you don't want to lose that kind of control with someone who's not for you or with you, or y'all not in this common. You know, you don't want to do that. That's too much to give somebody just because somebody's using you as a random concubine or a hoe on the side, or some what do they call it, like the side chick and all that other stuff. You know, no, you don't do stuff like that. And I was so thankful that, and every call I got today about this was men. And to hear a man say, you know, this is what needed to happen because there are too many men taking advantage of women, and it's real painful. And I am sorry because, honey, I will never rest in knowing that this could have been prevented. I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you 50 times. I don't care how many times. If you know something that someone needs to know, if you give loyalty to the person by holding their secrets, knowing what they're going to do to fuck somebody else, baby, there's no coming back from that. So if you really and truly love this person, your loyalty belongs with them. And when you do know that someone didn't tell you, such as my mother not telling me, it's not because she didn't love me. It's because her loyalty was to him. And I told him that from the gate. From the gate. And he didn't believe me. He was like, no, that's not true. Yes, the hell it is. Yes, it is. Because there's no way in God's creation, God is my witness, I could ever, for any reason, there is no reason why I would be able to let my daughter go into that, knowing, even if I didn't know she was going to go into it. But I tell you no lie, it's okay. I respect everybody. Everybody's hustling, ride is gravy, baby. When I put my eyes on that man, oh my goodness, how I felt. Oh my goodness. And when I was wrapped in that bed under that man's arms, when that man laid on top of me with all that goody stick wrapped around and moving that body, I tell you, it was nothing but magic. I would never in a million years, nobody would have been able to tell me what I know today is reality. But before any of that happened, I would have believed it. I would have had choices, decisions, options, anything, but I didn't have it. And I don't hold any ill will to anyone. I'm just telling you, even if it's your best friend, you don't want to say that you saw a man somewhere. If you saw him talking to somebody, that doesn't mean he's cheating. We have to learn to know what cheating is. And one thing I can promise you, Judge Judy even said it. The only time you're cheating is when you are married. If you are single, you can have 50 sex partners. You are not cheating on anyone unless you are married. And I noticed the dynamics of being married and no longer being in love and separated, and y'all live under the same roof because finance. I know all of that. But knowing and being deceived is two different things. But you know what? I feel bad because I don't want to change who I am as a person. I don't want to be the person that wants to be kind to someone and treat someone with love, and then somebody mistreat me and make me turn into this hateful person, and then turn around, the blessings come to me, that a good man come my way, and then I feel like I can't I can't be who I want to be because he may be like so and so. I don't want to be that way. And what's killing me now is I have to break it to someone who really adores me that I had to put this video out because he's going to get that video. And when he gets that video, he's going to crumble inside. But I have to get to him first. First, I have to get to him because nobody knows of this man's connection with me. And if he sees that video, he's going to think the worst. But I told him already. I said, I'm just getting out of a situation. I don't really know what's going on. I said, but I was being treated unfairly and unkind and abused. I said, all he was using me for was random sex. I said, and he ghosted me weeks on end and would ignore me. I told him everything, so he does know. And the day before the video, no, the day the video was made, which was yesterday, I got a phone call about a couple of days before that, and he said, baby, I just want to come by. I just want to leave you with money just to have in your pocket, because he was leaving the state. And I said, okay, that's fine, but if you can't make it, it's okay. And those are the things that I do that may or may not be positive for myself. I always say it's okay if you can't. But do you know what it felt like to have this man concerned about me walking out of my door without anything in my purse? It makes a difference. And then when you have somebody who knows that they promised you whatever, the sheetrock on the wall, to help me with the front door, it doesn't matter what it is. And they're always available for everybody else, and tired, back, hurt, feet, whatever the case may be. And then, of course, I'm going to say, no, I don't want you to do this when I know you've been grinding it on your back, on your knees. I'm not a savage. So, of course, I need this done. But when I see you need rest, if I love you, the first thing I know is you need rest. So what position am I supposed to play? I'm supposed to say, okay, well, you did this for this, and this, and then you're going to come over here and do it to me, NIGER, whatever. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to be that person? No, I'm not that person. When you come in here, you take your stuff off, you get your stuff cleaned up, you rest because your body can't function without rest. And then I say to myself, okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I should have did like everybody else did, make you work for nothing and take advantage. No, but I'm not that person. So I don't want to change who I am. But I can tell you what I have noticed that I did change. I don't listen to the services anymore because I got so upset of watching what I was watching and then seeing what I was seeing, from people that were supposed to be walking in God's light. But now I know that I don't never have to go to church. I already researched a lot about how I am on just a regular daily basis. And I know I'm walking in faith. I don't need anything else. I do know one thing. I was talking to someone this morning, and I told him, I said, man, you just don't understand how powerful sex can be. You can't just lay down with somebody and do all of these things with just anybody and everybody. No, you can't do that. I'm serious. I don't know how people think you can go cheat on somebody. And I'm not saying cheat. Just let's take the word cheat out. Let's just say you randomly hooking up with somebody. You're not supposed to be bending down, giving lip service and stuff like that. That's how I feel. And this person knows how I feel about kissing and everything. So he understood, and he said, the first thing you told me when we got, and we never had anything, but when we were friends, and we still are friends, but the first thing you told me is that, and that is the truth. There's people very close to me that may not like me for the rest of my life. They'll put their hand on the Bible and tell you, don't you put your mouth on me. I don't like the mouth on me. If you get to put your mouth on me, then you best believe, honey, I care something about you. But there's this man, there's this man I have had a crush on since high school. He has the sweetest smile in the world. And he knows he has my heart. He gonna die with my heart. But I sent him the video because he also knows said person. I sent him the video this morning. And then to find out that he was, but you know what? I was able to send him the video, although he didn't know anything about what I was carrying on with in here. But he knows me as a person well enough to know that those type of behaviors are not behaviors that you have with someone that you just randomly, have in your space, that y'all spending time and y'all getting to know. Those are not the things that you do. You know what I'm saying? And my closest friends in this world are married. Every last one of them. And I would say all my three closest friends, male friends, are all married. And I kid you not, one of them is watching this video as soon as it airs. He was in the service for a couple of years, never cheated. He said he couldn't do it. No, he couldn't do it because of how he felt about her. One that called me this morning, he will never. He said he could never. And the main reason why, you can't love someone and do that. And that's why when I found out that Mr. Furman was married and with me, first thing I said, well, he must be right about the fact that they're not together, because you can't do all this and sit at my table and bestow my kindness and my worldliness and all that and be in love. You can love, because there's a whole massive amount of ways you can love somebody. But to give your body that magic that me and that man have, you can't pay for that magic, honey. And let me tell you something. Somebody said to me this morning, girl, you know what they would do if you put out a video. But I wouldn't do that to Coral. Coral love me too much. Coral is basically, I don't know if I should say, okay, she already has one daughter, but I don't want to say I'm the second one, so I'll just say, she's my sister. She's closer to me than any sister I will ever have, put it that way. She's closer to me, and my sister, that's Linda, I worship the ground she walks on, but it is what it is. I don't have any connections with anyone offline like I have with Coral. I used to have that with someone that I thought was a friend of mine, until one day something, just a random regular phone call, and something just fell out, and I never addressed it, because one thing with me, you don't have to explain anything to me once I hear it. I am not that person. You don't have to explain a goddamn thing to me once I hear it, and I take you for how you said it, because I don't want you to fix it up. I don't want you to say, oh, I didn't mean it that way. No, you said it, and that's it. And I respect your hustle and grind, but I respect your hustle and grind for me to part ways too. And I felt really bad going through what I was going through. My best friend, I parted ways from her, because she had a little difference of opinion, not in my situation, because I kept my stuff to myself on here. Even my friends that you saw the video yesterday, they didn't know I was going through some of the stuff I was going through. I kept it to myself, because once I realized that the closest person to me that I thought was to me wasn't my ride or die, I didn't need no ride or die. And I really and truly wanted to call Coral before I did what I did, but I said no, because she probably wouldn't understand. And I shouldn't even be using her name in this video, but I said she would probably never understand, because there are certain things that people go through that people just would never have access to, because they don't live amongst roguish people. So this type of stuff, just like one of the ladies, one of my viewers called me one day, and she heard the gun, and she was worried about me, but I wanted to say so bad, is there anything you can do for me? But it is what it is. So, and I'm thankful, because I didn't even use lotion and the pain is going. So let me zip up this bag real quick. So I just feel sorry for people like me who are givers, because a taker will take every damn thing you have until you have nothing left. And one of the things that drove me crazy was expressing some of my feelings in calmness, in peacefulness, in such a soft and kind and loving tone, and being ignored. Just looked at like I was clear as glass. When somebody looking at you, okay, now bitch, shut up. When someone look at you, okay, now bitch, you can shut up. That's the look that I got a few times, like I was clear as glass. But then when it was time to turn the backside and flip up in the air and spread wide and do a cartwheel, it was a whole different dynamic. And I was so, I guess, overtaken with wanting that from him that I was willing to just go all in just to get my 5 minutes of having whatever you call it. My friend said, when you said ice cream cone with all the fixings, he said I was laughing so hard I couldn't stop choking. Well, I guess I needed to be the ice cream cone with all the fixings, the little sparkles, and throw in the little chocolate and little what's that stuff you lick on, the little syrup, the black stuff, all that stuff. I can't eat none of that stuff. I wish I could though, but can't eat none of that stuff. Anyway, that's that. I guess it was more or less me being magnetized into wanting something. I felt like that, like I was on drugs. I can't even explain to you in words how I felt, but I felt like I was high as what they say, cool to brown. I was high on and the feeling, the power, everything. I felt like I was somebody else. And I kid you not, I still have that feeling right now because every time I close my eyes, I blink, I lean my head back. I just feel the rhythm of the music that I played and the rose in my hand and just got it like this and boom and zzzz, and I was completely, he had my everything. I didn't have anything left, and I kept saying to myself, I want to be able to preserve something within myself that no one can possibly say. And he had taken everything. I think every membrane from my scalp was already released from my body. My toes, and I kid you not, when he was on that bed trying to get up and I made him lay his ass back down and I kept on giving him the service, I knew exactly how he felt. I knew exactly how he felt because he had did it to me. But then when I heard him say, okay, you got me, you got me, and I felt horrible. I felt like I felt horrible because I knew what I was doing, but at that moment it was rage and hate that was going through me. You know why? Because you don't do that to a person that you don't care about. But you know the sad disgrace of it all? I actually loved that fucking man. That man, I would never have done that to him if I knew he wasn't the roguish type of disgraceful piece of shit that would just use me up and take me up and then just walk away from me and leave me with nothing. I would never have done that to him, but I had no choice but to do it to him because I had to serve him his ass on a platter. Don't fuck with me. I can't stand for people to look at me and say, oh, she's sick, oh, she's sick, oh, she's sick, and think you could treat me like that. Boy, you better play yourself at a game or something somewhere else because you're not coming for me. I don't care who you are. It'll take me a lifetime. You cross me, I'm coming for you. I feel so sorry right now for the people that I want to dash some damn hot oil on right now. And I don't mean physically throw some water on. I mean open up another book and start writing. Don't fuck with me. Don't play me. Don't play me. Just don't play me. And I say it all the time. I'm too damn nice. I'm too nice. But you know what? I tell anybody, because I believe, and I don't want to say her name because my sister would have a fit, but I believe she would close her fist and turn oil, turn to massiveness, but not her. She's just a beautiful woman altogether, not her. But I'm just saying, you can't take a person's kindness and just walk on it, whatever it is, I might have ordered this, in kindness and thank you, it's nice, and I might have did this and you can't be that way when you know somebody's like me, and then the person just want you to just keep your word, and I even said it. I need you to be the person that holds themselves accountable because you did say you would do some of these things and you didn't do it. And then on top of that, knowing you don't want no other man around me doing these things, So when are you going to do them? And I'm like, and then I don't know what it is about me, but I have so much patience. I have so much patience. And then another thing that I don't like about me, I will know that you're poison and I will still keep smiling, waiting for the day that poison turned into pudding, and that you really see what you did, and you want to make a new wave and change it up a little bit. I wait and I hope and I'm like a kid. He might come home with the doll baby today. Daddy's coming home and daddy don't come today with the doll baby. I'm just like that little kid. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. And then I hate the fact that when you push me over a certain limit and I see you, the shades and all the clouds start coming from my eyes and I see you for who you are, then I can't shut down my mind. All those people in my head, because I have all those mental health illnesses, they in my head and they be like, ugh, and I'm like, shut up! And I hear one voice going and another voice going, I'm like, shut up! And I gotta turn the TV on, gotta turn the radio on just to get my head quiet. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this. And I'm like, no, I don't wanna do that. I don't wanna do that. And it's a fucking madhouse in here sometimes what I'm going through. Then I have to go into the bathroom, turn the bathroom light off, and just sit there try to reframe my mind to get me from thinking the things I'm getting ready to think. And the good thing is if I got 5 minutes, a little split second of right and wrong, I don't do the wrong. I want to be the good person and do what's right. But then when I see you trying to serve me a platter of disrespect, I'm like, oh no, you trying to get like that now? Oh no. And then I'm like, whoa, boy, you don't know what you about to come up in here and get from me. And then you read across, and yesterday I was sitting at the computer right here. I was broken. I was completely broken. All I'm thinking about is this rent situation that they can't fix right now. And then turn around, the paper came in just a little while ago. My rent paper right here came in. I gotta pay. And I'm sitting here like, trying to figure out how I can get this money without laying on my back and bending on my knees and things like that. Because, women got that good stuff. They can go out there and get all kind of money, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that person. I had the Bible open with the crack in my hand when I was homeless. So I don't want to be that person. I know there's things I saw as a child that I shouldn't have seen, that I should have forgot about, and I didn't forget. I did have a conversation with someone, and I understand there's things people do when they have no choice. And I say I will do anything if my child need to eat, but my child don't need to eat right now. And if she did, I would still know how to go get me a loaf of bread. If I had to, I would go to the store clerk and say, can you just loan me this loaf of bread and a dozen of eggs before I go out there and do what I don't want to do. And I kid you not, I don't care how hard things get for me. I don't want to sell my ass for no money. That's the one thing I don't want to do. I don't want to take money, that kind of money. I may have to one day. I never know what I may have to do, but I don't want to bend down and give my services for money. I don't want to. I'm just not there yet. I sold crack when I had to because I had no choice. Everybody around me was prostituting, and I was not doing it. I wasn't doing it because at that time in my life there was things I was not going to do. You would have killed me first. And I sat right here on Fifth Avenue, and that man sat on my face and beat me, trying to get me to open my mouth with my brother in the backseat of that car sleeping, and I didn't open my mouth. I begged God to kill me that day. I begged God to kill me, just kill me, because I was not opening my mouth, and he beat my head, my ears, my temple, my everything, and I should have died that day. That's why I tell you, I know I'm supposed to be here. I know there's a reason why I'm on this earth, and I know I got a plan, and my plan does not mean me laying down on my back. If I am with you and I'm supposed to be with you, and you got me and you want me faithful and you know I'm loyal, you treat me right. But you don't treat me right, boy, you gonna get this ass whooping served on a platter. And I can't wait for somebody to ring my phone and give me 5 minutes of something to tell me I'm wrong. I wish somebody would. I swear they would hate me for the rest of their life, because I would be sitting down writing my next book. Boy, y'all don't want me to keep writing. I said, anybody do me wrong, I'm writing me some books now. I already got about 8 books. I write every page or a chapter or whatever. Every day I'm in here doing my books, and I say, you know what, there's some books I don't want to write while my mama's still on this earth. But I figured now, you know what? If I feel like putting out a book, I'm going to put out a book. You know why? Because I got to eat. I gotta eat like everybody else, and I would rather eat off of something I worked my hard fingers and bones for than to do something that, stand in the corner and sell drugs and all that other stuff. I sit down sometimes and I say to myself, I don't know why I love greeting cards. I said, I don't know why greeting cards couldn't be crack, because people would give their soul for a crack vial, but not a greeting card, and I'm okay with that because at this point, I wish I could just not make any more, but I'm going to make more. I'm looking at one right now that I'm going to put on the computer, but I'm going to make more because that's who I am. Kindness Creations is who I am. But I have to say, anytime you feel like you're being mistreated, please walk away. And whatever you do, I don't care if you get married, don't shack up with your husband. Because to come home to somebody that would treat you less than that and look you in your face after going down and eating and licking and maybe biting and chewing, you can't do that. No. And I'm going to tell you, no lie. I kid you, no lie. What tipped me over the fucking edge was imagining this man going home to that woman, licking her between her legs like an ice cream cone with all the fixings and coming in and putting his mouth on me. That's why I did what I did. That's exactly why I did it. Because I couldn't imagine who he was out there licking on and coming and putting his mouth on me. I may not have a lot of values, but I may have one. And when I say I don't want your mouth on me, it means I don't trust yet. And guess what? I got to the point where I trusted every word that man came out of his mouth and said to me. And then when I slipped up and said something to someone and they said, who? What's that person's name? And I said it. Oh, I know it. His wife. Wife? And that's when I felt the earth under my feet. And I had to sit on the phone and pretend that I already knew. I don't recall ever knowing, but it is what it is. Oh yeah, but you don't know the whole story. I don't need to know the whole story. I need to know that because now you in here spreading ice cream and strawberries every damn where. Are you seriously telling me this is how we supposed to be living in the danger zone of HIV and all this other crap? I had to go sit at the table and get an HIV test with the man being all nice and talking to me and how do you feel today? I want to say, how do you think I feel? I'm over here trying to find out if I laid down and got this situation, by thinking I was with somebody I trust. But I said, I'm fine, doing great, And well, how would you feel if the test came out positive? Would you be trying to get revenge? And then I wanted to ask, what kind of revenge can you get? Am I supposed to throw it back at him and give it to him after he gave it to me? I said, oh, no, there's no reason to. I would just continue, I would move out of state and, just find a clinic and stuff, which would have been, but y'all know, right? Oh, okay. Just as long as y'all know, and ain't no party. We would have had a beefsteak party that night. But I'm thankful. I just feel used and abused because I feel like people are trying to get me to change who I am from being a giver and just not want to be a giver because people want to take all your kindness from you. You're not supposed to be you're not supposed to be that type of way. You know what I'm saying? And I felt really bad because I had gotten so addicted to this man that I couldn't even get my toy to work unless he was here. So that man knew he took full control away from me. I was in here with just my damn toys and I didn't need nobody up in here, I tried to get in touch with somebody who's always working and grinding, but I respect the hustle and grind. And then you come in here and take all my worldly goods and you know what I'm going through. And this medication situation is going crazy because I'm on half a dose and then it has this sexual thing that goes with it. And I didn't know, so now I'm like, and I'm feeling a certain type of way, and I'm like, and I can't get, and I'm trying to express, this is what I'm going through in this medicine, and, and I'm partially being listened to 1 minute and partially being ignored the next, and I kid you not, honey, I think the ass whooping train started when the ghosting started. I think people need to realize what ghosting could do to a person because I didn't realize what was going on until I went to ChatGPT and I put in all of this behavior, and then I didn't even know about the shame, when you can't face a person, when you can't look them in the eye. I didn't know none of that stuff. Then I went to different videos on YouTube, and it says if a man is behaving this way, this is why. And I'm like, okay. Then I'm looking back, and I'm laid back, and I'm like, okay, let's watch and see what's going on. But see, you know what? I feel I be laughing. I've been laughing all day, boys and girls. I've been busting out laughing all day because sometimes when I think about when I think about that man, laid out, laid out all, I just sit down and say to myself, I did it, I did it, I did it. You know what I mean? I feel like a champion. I feel like, woo, I hit it because I did. That damn rose would kill you if you have that rose and you get to the point where your fingers and your toes and your scalp and everything is gone and you can keep it there. Oh, you can't even pay for that kind of feeling. Whoo, that toy should do. Woo! And some people think you need penetration. No, you need a damn penetration, or you need rose. You won't even know you don't have penetration when you have a rose. But I kid you not, I am thankful, but I still keep feeling sad and wanting to break down, and then I laugh and laugh and laugh, and I'm in here cracking up like somebody's in here with me when I think about how much I kept saying to myself, okay, the doorbell's gonna ring, somebody's gonna be outside the door with a gun, somebody's gonna shoot me dead, shoot me right in my bald head. Somebody's gonna know I'm asleep because obviously I'm not the only one with keys to this door. I was sitting in my bed last night. I'm like, okay, somebody might come in my room in the middle of the night, shoot me in my bed. But then I said, you know what? I lived 55 years. If somebody shoot me dead, at least I went to my grave doing what I like to do, and had to speak my piece. Because guess what? I already didn't want to live past 50. And then to be with someone knowing that this is I don't think there's ever, if outside of the person that I got to break this bad news to about this video, I don't think there's ever going to be a man and I will never be able to fall in love with that man. I kid you not, that man could be in my life for the next umpteen years. I will never be able to fall in love with him. You know why? Because he will never put his mouth on me. I can't fall in love with a man who don't put his mouth on me. So there goes that. There's a secret that nobody knows. Few people know. I cannot fall in love with a person that does not put their mouth on me. And that is one of the rules, honey. You are not putting your mouth on me. And that's just that. So, but anyway, thank you so much for even your 5 minutes of time. But guess what? Oh my goodness. When I heard 4 people say they watched that video from beginning to end, I'm like, thank you so much. But let me show you something for a minute. Let me get something real quick. I just want to show you something. Uh-oh, I gotta sit down. Hold on, let me show you something. Where's the little circle? You gotta find the circle. Okay, now this is the rose. Okay, just in case you've never seen a rose, the red one is a little softer in tone, in movement, and everything than this. I don't know how many speeds this rose has, but let's try to get you to 1. Okay, there go 1 right there. Now everybody's gonna find a number at some point that makes them feel the magic. For me, it's number 7. So let's go to number 7. This is 1. For me, it's number 7. That's number 7. Do you see the constant? I need the constant. I need to feel like somebody's there on a regular. That's what I need. Now, I'm going to tell you something. No human can understand what it is to have this and a human at the same time. But see, I was so alone for so long. I didn't need anything besides this. Just this and the companionship of my rubber thing in their room. And then the man came and took over to where he replaced the toy. And then it got to the point where this I wasn't able to use because I couldn't get nothing from this because everything in me was taken by him. So this was useless. Guess what I'm doing? I'm crying now. Why? Because the cookie wants some playtime and I'm going crazy and I'm in my bed and my legs going on and I'm trying to turn this way and get comfortable and I'm trying to turn this way and get comfortable and I can't. And I say, okay, let's try the toy. And I get the toy and I'm trying and I can't get nothing from the toy and I feel like throwing the damn toy out the window. And then somebody say, oh, she hit me in the head with a rose. But it is horrible. So now I know this still ain't working. It's not working. To take the ang out, I can't stand the word. Maybe I used it in the right term though. This still is not working because I still have that most emotional connection to Mr. Pastor Man. But it's okay. Cause let me tell you something, honey. Boy, if that man don't have that power, he need to be out there selling that goodie stick, boys and girls. Shoot, but he need to sell that lick service better. I thought I could bring something to the table. I can't bring nothing to the table. That man got that power. And you know what I thought about this morning? I was in the kitchen this morning. I said, I'm hearing this man when he used the words, no, I don't want to go there, boy. Some things need to be sacred. But I'm in the kitchen and washing dishes and I can hear him, I can smell him and I lay in my bed sometimes. And you know what makes me horrified? What makes me horrified and makes me really feel bad? That man's feet, the corn chips. I was nauseous at first. At first I was nauseous and I would do a little thing to make it a little go away and stuff. But then when I started missing him, I started smelling the corn chips. And when I say corn chips, it's not the kind of corn chips you want to eat, trust me. But I started smelling it and that's when I realized that I loved him, when I was missing the corn chip smell. And I'm like, and I would lay in my bed and I get a little whiff, as if he was here. And I'm like, and I'm feeling like I'm in heaven, smelling them nasty ass corn chip feet, But then those are the things that let you know when you love someone, when something that is a grossness to your feet, to your stomach, is something that overtakes you. He looked at me one day and he said it, that he knew I loved him because I light up when he walks through the door. That man's presence was all I needed. And that's why it was okay that he wasn't doing this at one point and doing this that he said he would do, because his presence was all I needed. But then next thing you know, what the hell happened? The phone rang and he run in the room, babe. I'm like, I had to leave the room, come in here, get myself under composure to make me believe I didn't hear what I heard. And then, I'm at work and I'm like, trying to get my mind, babe, I'm like, so you don't have enough respect for me, whoever this babe is. And at that time, I didn't know who babe was. And then even if you was married and y'all split up and all that, you're not still calling this person babe, because clearly this person may have someone else. But then I started watching the videos and I'm like, so I said, okay, we don't want to play Jimmy Jackass. There's more to this story than meets the eye. But then I didn't want to ask, because why would you ask a question to somebody to let somebody lie to you that already lied to you? You got to get investigation elsewhere. So the private detective said he would be able to go to the church and just friend her up and just get confirmation. If they want to do all that. I'm not trying to do that to hurt that woman. That woman didn't do nothing to me. Then when I did, have a conversation with someone else that I didn't want to have, and he was like, oh, she already knows. There ain't nothing wrong with her. She's just stupid. I said, excuse me? She already knows. She's just stupid. So I'm like, oh. And that's what the girl told me. So it is what it is. But I'm stupid too, honey. I'm stupid too. Because if that man walked in here right now, 9 times out of 10, I would take off these clothes and jump in that shower and go back in that room and spin this damn cartwheel. You know when it says spin the top? Woo! Yep. But I just want to say, if you feel a certain type of way, don't feel no shame, because some of these things that you do, you cannot even control what a person does. But you have to be a certain type of person to do this to somebody, to victimize someone's mind, spirit, and soul, and go home and sleep in the comfort. You got to be some kind of savage. But I kid you not, when someone told me that that man was a fraud, I didn't believe it until I started asking some questions, and then I understood, okay, this is the basic human here. And trust me when I tell you, the Lord is working through me, because every time I turn around, I kept on saying, there's something out here that I'm supposed to be doing. And I know what it is. I'm supposed to be alerting people of how people are living and what people are doing, and how you can overcome these types of behavior. Because I kid you not, honey, get you a rose and leave these trash bag men alone. And I'm not telling you to leave them alone for the rest of your life, because honey, we all need a goodie stick, especially when the goodie stick is good, honey. Don't nobody start lying and say the goodie stick. Yeah, boys and girls, I always say a good man knows the best creation in society, and that's a woman, because there ain't nothing in this world better than some pussy, honey. And I don't want none because I'm a woman. But a man that knows a real good woman is a valuable man. Even if that man come to the table without a dollar, because he come with respect, loyalty, and morals. Morals. For me, it's morals. You don't even need to bring me a bag of potato chips, bag of chicken, or a bag of flour. Just bring me some morals. You understand what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't realize, when you out there sneaking around and you know this is going on and you think this is cute and you morals. He's taking away his own morals. You're helping him take his morals. And guess what? It leaves you with nothing when he leaves. And then I don't want to be the woman that when a man walks away, I can't live without you. But if you walk away and I know you disrespected me on your way out, then there's going to be a platter with an ass whooping with your name on it. Plain and simple. That's it.